forward to this film tonight.
She's going to be all right. Cinder should be sweating.
And why is that?
Because he was totally irresponsible.
Don't you think that's for the hearing to decide?
I do love a good debate.
This is serious. A colleague's career's on the line here, and there's people sat around acting like judge, jury, and executioner. I think we should be showing a little bit of support, actually.
Afternoon.
Hiya.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
I know what you're going to say. Like, you might not have learnt any lessons, but I have.
Slight difference. This time, it was me and you in that theatre. We're both going to be questioned.
The difference is I'm prepared to take responsibility for my actions.
This could destroy my career.
Voice down.
We could both walk away from this without...
I'm sick of doing this. I am sick of going round and round in circles. It always ends like this, us tearing each other apart. It's dangerous and destructive, Nick, and this time it's cost someone their life.
Just hold on a minute.
I still think we should divorce.
Oh. So now you not only want to flush our careers down the pan, but our marriage as well.
We did that years ago. We just never accepted it. Well, now I have.
Today's the day she chooses to bring this up. Again. You got beautiful timing, Karen.
What do you want from me?
A little bit of compassion wouldn't go amiss.
Well, how about a little bit of honesty for a change?
I'm facing the firing squad, and you're providing the bullets. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Oh, I just need to...
It's all right. Mr. Jordan is just leaving.
Whoa, rule number 1. No running. Walk with me. I hope that hasty exit from Sister's office is not yet another example of your emotional life impinging upon the professional.
But that's something you wouldn't know about. I'm sorry, Mr. Mallard.
That irrational assumption about my emotional life simply confirms my adroitness at keeping them separate. Close the door. Well, today's the day. The inevitable has arrived.
Pardon?
You embroiled in a hearing, me trying to salvage the remnants of your once promising career. How are you feeling? Confident?
Well, I've got nothing to hide, so why shouldn't I be?
Because these proceedings are notoriously difficult to predict. And confidence can easily be read as arrogance. I know this because it's a fine line which I manage to walk every day. And you apparently cannot. This internal hearing into your conduct is the predictable result of your lackadaisical approach to your work.
Sentencing starting early today, is it?
Well, it isn't just yourself you've let down, is it? It's all of us. It's the whole hospital, to which I feel proud to belong. So should you. We work together as a team. The actions of one affect us all. Do you follow?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Hope so. By now.
Is that all?
I don't believe in luck. I wish you lots of it, because today, you're going to need it.
How are you feeling?
Slightly on the terrified side.
We'll be okay. Just do what we do day in, day out. Work as a team.
A team. I was left on my own with a patient who died.
And is that what you're going to tell them?
Do I have a choice?
Criticising me and the hospital is not going to do anyone's career any good.
Yeah, especially yours.
I'm part of this hospital, and so are you. The actions of one affect us all.
What's that mean?
Means you're taking this very personally, Victoria.
Well, how else am I supposed to take it? I have to stand up there and justify my actions and my abilities, prove that I'm not incompetent.
It's about the reputation of this hospital as much as any one individual.
And as my senior, what do you suggest I do?
I suggest you tell them that when I paged you, I did not raise my voice. And I told you I would be straight there, and I arrived as quickly as was humanly possible.
But that's not strictly true, is it?
Depends on your perspective. You see, in situations like this, Victoria, we've got to stick together and protect our own. It's like last year when you had a problem with drugs. As your senior, I looked at it as someone who was going through a difficult period. But if I'd taken that out of context and put it into the public domain, say a hearing, it may have looked like you weren't going out for the job. You see? Depends which way you look at it. Perspective. Context.
Yes, I see.
How's Tali?
Oh, well, the cavity's deep. There'll be some scarring, I think.
Have you ever heard of Hanson?
Did drop by, yeah.
Practically wanted to write a speech for me on how we should all show a united front for Holby. United front for him, more like.
It doesn't matter what they say. I know it wasn't your fault. And you've got to know that too. You're a good doctor. Just tell them the way it was. It's times like this, you've got to look after number one.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Karen.
The chairman of the hearing is Michael Givens.
Do you know him?
Yes, I know him. We were in medical school together. Hated each other.
The reason this hearing has been called is to ascertain the conduct...
If you're still a surgeon at the end of this, the experience will stand you in very good stead.
...who was admitted to this hospital for an elective coronary artery bypass graft and who subsequently died. The first person we'll be hearing from is Dr. Victoria Merrick. We all have a copy of the precise notes here, so Dr. Merrick, if you could tell us what happened after the coronary artery bypass graft. Mr. Jordan say to you after he examined her?
He told me I was being overzealous and that his original diagnosis was correct.
He reprimanded you?
Yes. I suppose he did reprimand me.
Carry on.
Janet told me that I was looking for conditions that weren't there.
And were you happy with that response?
No, I wasn't.
Did you feel competent with your diagnosis and the task in hand?
It's not really
It's
that.
a simple question, Dr. Merrick. Did you feel competent?
I wasn't given the proper support.
How do you mean?
I
Under this pressure, it seems communications between you were strained. Would you say this is the case?
At times, yes.
And at the time of treatment of Janice Alexander, it was the case?
Yes.
Right. Established there was a breakdown in communication between you and Mr. Jordan. Would it be fair to say that you were unable to communicate your degree of concern for Janice Alexander's condition?
Yes.
Seems to me, Dr. Merrick, that communication by its very nature is a two-way thing. Would you agree?
Yes, I suppose it is.
So it's fair to say that you're both culpable. Do you feel in any way that this lack of communication may be a contributing factor in the loss of Janice Alexander's life?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes, I would.
Thank you, Dr. Merrick. That'll be all. We'll have a short break before we hear from Sister Newburn.
I took her throat.
I heard what you said when I came this morning.
I meant it.
Wish it was you up there today instead of the two women who hate me the most.
I don't hate you, Nick.
Victoria will do after today. I don't blame her either. really put her through it. I felt like jumping up there and telling them.
Tell them what?
Oh, I don't know, Jazz. Hearing Victoria telling them what happened. It's like having the whole thing played out in slow motion. You know, you see your mistakes. See what you could have done. What you should have done. I see Janice Alexander and I want...
What?
What's the point? Karen's gonna stand up there and crucify me. Finished.
You're not finished, Nick. The only person who can finish it is yourself. You just got to get up there and tell them what happened. We've all got faith in you.
Oh.
I have. People who know you have.
The firm.
Yeah, exactly. So come on, stop feeling sorry for yourself and get in there.
Don't leave me, doll.
Merrick,
Yes?
what was Mr. Jordan's manner like?
Quite abrupt. I felt he was rude and not very helpful.
And where were you both during this time?
In the theatre.
Why?
We needed to talk in private.
Why the need for such privacy, Sister Newburn?
We needed to discuss a personal matter. We were giving our marriage another go, and we needed to discuss arrangements for moving in together.
And you knew that Mr. Jordan was on duty along with yourself?
I did remind him he was on call.
But you continued to distract him despite the conversation he'd had with Dr. Merrick and was clearly needed back on the ward.
Could say that.
To distract a doctor on duty to discuss a matter outside the context of hospital business, no matter how personally pressing it may seem, is a serious breach of professional conduct. We feel we have no choice but to recommend to the Director of Nursing that you be suspended from duty until further notice, pending an internal disciplinary investigation.
No, this is unfair.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Jordan?
I just feel what happened there has not been
down.
very well expressed.
Please sit down, Mr. Jordan. You'll have your chance to express your side of the events. Now, I suggest we take a recess. Sister Newburn, I would like you to return to this hearing so we can discuss your suspension after Mr. Jordan's testimony.
Why? Why did you have to do that? Why do you always insist on taking everything the hard way?
What's opposed to your way, the easy
You
way?
went right up to the edge there and you threw yourself off.
Oh, just play the harassed doctor, Nick. You've got the looks for it. You'll get off no problem.
What do you get out of it, Karen? Absolution from the past or
Yeah,
something?
do you know what? It feels really good.
You did not need to do that.
Oh, yes, I did. It's called taking responsibility, Nick. You know, doing the right thing. You should try it sometime.
Hey, we're asking people to...
I'll be Angie, you know that, don't you?
That's right.
I thought it'd be me fighting for my life. I can handle that.
Come on, you enjoy it. Goes with the image, Nick Jordan, the maverick. I'll tell you something else.
Fire away, it's open season.
Sometimes we all enjoy it too. It's exciting to be around.
And you sound like a brat.
Well, maybe it's time to grow up. Start accepting responsibility for your actions.
Too late for that, Kath.
It's never too late.
Made too many mistakes.
So the man that came up...
Even with the correct treatment.
I shouldn't really be here.
I know. You should be at your hearing explaining why my sister died.
I wanted you to be the first to know what I'm going to say, and I want your opinion.
About what?
I was wrong. I gave my diagnosis, which I believed was right. But I carved it in stone. It's my duty to respond to any of the changes in the well-being of my patients. I didn't do that. I failed you and your sister. And for that, please believe me, I'm so sorry.
What do you want with my opinion?
Whether I should resign or not. If you want me to, I will.
It's not an opinion you want, Mr. Jordan. It's a judgment. I'm not qualified to give that.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You wanted the hearing.
Because I didn't want my sister's death to be in vain. I wanted to ensure that this never happens to anyone else.
It won't. I'm going to be judged by my peers. They will decide whether I'm worthy of my profession. I respect them all, and I'll stand by their judgment. But you're the person that this has hurt the most. I need your forgiveness.
If it was up to me, Mr. Jordan, you'd be taking out the rubbish. My sister wouldn't have wanted you to resign. She was a good woman. But I'm not my sister, and I can't forgive you. It's about whether you can forgive yourself.
Sophia,
circumstances taking into account his absence.
Sorry.
But it'd be good.
It is.
37 minutes late, Mr. Jordan, really is too late.
I know, I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize to everyone here. The facts are very simple, Mr. Givens. I'll be very brief.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Givens, whilst I realize that your time is very precious, surely everyone has a right to be heard.
Very well.
I know you worry, but
Charging 200.
It's true, I did go into the theatre with Sister Newburn, but it was my idea. Our conversation became somewhat heated, and I was distracted. She tried to leave, but I wouldn't let her. She did remind me that I was on call and that I ought to get back to the ward. I would like to make it clear to this hearing that I am the one who was at fault. I was unable to separate my personal life from my professional. My behavior with Dr. Merrick was unacceptable. I was rude and abrupt, and I did ignore her second bleep. I am the only one who was responsible for what happened that day. If there's been any breakdown in communication between myself and Dr. Merrick, then, as her senior, that was my job to rectify the situation. I did not. She's a doctor of great promise.
Charging.
yep.
It's going to be enough to ease the grief that I have caused Janice Alexander's family and, of course, my colleagues. I'm deeply sorry for what happened. Deeply sorry.
Is that all, Mr. Jordan?
No, Mr. Givens, it isn't. If there's still any doubt about the conduct or character of Karen Newburn, I would like to state for the record that I forced her to stay with me in the theatre. She would never do anything to compromise the care of the patient. She's one of the most dedicated professionals that I have ever worked with. It's a real credit to this hospital. She's also my wife. And I love her.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. If you would like to leave, we'll consider our decision.
You made the right...
Conclusion that Miss Alexander's condition was an unforeseen complication that was not directly related to the coronary artery bypass grafting. However, there was clearly some negligence in her post-operative care. Mr. Jordan has stated that the blame lies with him. Sister Newburn will have her suspension revoked. Mr. Jordan will receive a written warning, and his progress will be closely monitored for 1 year. Thank you, everyone.
Mr. Jordan, very well done. If your surgical skill was never in doubt, your discipline and maturity undoubtedly were. Today, you have ably dispelled those doubts, and one day, you'll make a fine consultant.
Under your tutelage?
Of course.
Well, then that's going to make this even harder.
What?
I've decided to leave Holby.
Well, I can't say I'm not disappointed. I am. I'd like you to stay.
I really appreciate everything you've done for me. But I think this is a good time for me to move on now. Too much history with this place. Too much baggage.
Yes, I'd have to say that's probably true. You've got such good things ahead of you. Saddens me that I won't be there to see them.
Thank you. I don't know if it's too late, but I think I finally learned my lesson. The one that you've been trying to teach me about focus and discipline.
Good, yeah. Consultants make certain investments in their registrars, and it's time, skill, knowledge, even friendship. I know it may not seem like that at times.
At times. That investment hasn't been wasted. I promise.
Well, Mr. Jordan, I've enjoyed working with you.
And are you? It's been a privilege, Mr. Mayor.
Did the right thing, Nick.
Thanks, Kirsty.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
No, you didn't, Ray.
I'll just finish up here and then you're round, I think.
Certainly is. Meet me in the social, everyone.
Ah, well done.
Thanks, Mike. Drinks on me in the social. Mark the end of a chapter.
Come.
Just seen the prodigal son. You must be very proud in the circumstances.
Yes, anyone would have been proud of Mr. Jordan today.
I've also had a...
I did some really good work in here.
Yeah, you did.
I'm going to resign.
So what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know. A little bit scared, actually. Leaving everything I care about behind.
You know I love you, don't you?
I also know what you mean when you say it wouldn't work. Doesn't make it any easier, though. Knowing I can't be with you.
Thanks for today. It meant a lot.
Set it down. I'm sorry, Karen.
Hello, stranger. How was A&E today?
Okay, yeah, heard about all the excitement.
Yeah, safest place to be, probably.
I guess. Listen, I was going to ask you a favour.
Ask away.
I was talking to Julie.
Nick, you're around, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Come in for us, will you, Ray?
Sure.
Just gonna nip to the chambers. Excuse me.
some fresh air.
Listen, I really admired what you did today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you, Victoria. See ya.
You're not coming back, are you?
No. No, I'm not. I just need to work out a cunning plan.
Go for the body!